What is up, guys? Today is currently Thursday, March 5th, 2026. Trade recap today. Today we had a hit for a little over $1,100 today. Pretty weak trading day, to be honest, but we're still up on the week, so I can't have anything to complain about that. Let's get into it today. So today coming into the day, I was honestly, my bias was shorts, to be honest. And I know we had a very bearish, obviously, over here. But as we get into market open, um, I had shorts in my bias, to be completely honest, right? Obviously, we have this trend line liquidity, which I marked out here. This kind of obvious, honestly, like we're very obviously bullish here from yesterday, which if we continued north here, I would have been convicted, but we obviously had what to me seemed as a market structure shift. What gave me enough conviction for my short bias was seeing this what appeared to me to be a market structure shift, right? Because we went from having our lower lows to higher highs, and then we had a lower low again, right? Which we should have pushed up a lot more, especially respecting this bullish fair value gap coming into the day, and we did push, but as you see here, we respected this bearish fair value gap, which kind of gave me a bit conviction of shorts. We just had a ton of liquidity, obviously, heading down here, which gave me really just overall a lot of conviction as to wow, that's not the right one, as to what my bias was going to be coming into the day. And again, even on the 4-hour time frame, I just had so much liquidity going down. I was really just looking for shorts. But as we kind of head into our getting into the morning, we come off market open with a very bullish candle here, opening this crazy 5 minute, right? And so obviously we hit my key level here, which I had marked, I believe, yeah, our fair value gap. And to me, hitting that hourly fair value gap, I was like, okay, we hit our key level. I'm looking for inverse off of this, right? So like obviously we had a few different shorter for value of a few 1 minutes. Wow, we had a few 1 minutes and a few 2 minutes, obviously, in this leg. But I was really more focused on this 5 minute that we had here, looking for an inverse off of this. But what really led me to taking my long that I did take today, that obviously led to me winning, was we come down and we respected this bullish fair value gap with our 5 minute chart. We respected it twice, right? And then we started coming up, which obviously, right, that's not enough conviction, just to respect on a time frame is not enough. But then after I kind of looked at it, I thought that obviously the market wanted to continue farther north. So I kind of zoomed out, found myself with more liquidity, kind of seeing what I wanted to see here. And maybe I was kind of wondering if we're going to sweep this trend line liquidity that continued here. As you can see, we have these two swing highs, right? And at this point in time, we hadn't hit this swing high that was an obvious draw. So for me, after I'd seen this kind of swing high, if you will, I was looking for what is my continuation model. I was looking for just kind of an inverse, especially coming off of this respect. So I was looking for an inverse in this leg, which, as you see, if we zoom down here, we go to 3 minute. If we in this leg, we still don't have an inversion. 2 minute, we don't have an inversion. There's no fair value gap. Where if you go to the 1 minute chart, we do have an inversion here. It is very small, very hard to see. It is about 50-cent inversion in between the two here. And again, I saw this fair value gap that I marked out, and I was like, I don't know if that's enough. But because the displacement we had from this candle here was just surely enough conviction to show me that market obviously wanted to respect this fair value gap and continue heading north, continue heading towards our next draw on liquidity, obviously. So for me, I saw this inversion that we took here. I entered pretty late, actually. I'm not going to lie to you. I got in here, and obviously now I'm going to be honest. I forgot to set a take profit and a stop loss when I was trading. That's on me. So I had to manually close this, but I knew kind of like right here. So as soon as it tapped it, I kind of closed, but it was a bit rough. So I closed, as you can see, a little lower than where my thing was. So that caused me to only hit for about 190 each account, which is pretty buns, to be completely honest. And on top of that, hey guys, guess what? Top Step was blowing my guns, if you will, bro. Top Step was just absolutely mutilating my Johnson, and it just didn't want to see me make more money. So when I went to my TradeSync account, it wasn't set up in my connection. So missed out on probably about another rack from Top Step, but whatever. Shit happens, you move on. But again, we had just another very, to me, this displacement from this candle here was just enough conviction for that. Now, another continuation I had seen that would drive me to believe to continue with another inversion, or another continuation model, if you will, would be, again, like we hit this right, and we had um, another entry right here with this 2 minute that we have right here, and obvious inversion, obvious displacement, right? And I know one of my friends actually took this trade and kind of asked me for my opinion on this and why I didn't think this would work. And so my obvious opinion here would be that, yes, is this obviously our continuation model? Yes, this would be our continuation model. One of two reasons why, right? We hit this 5 minute gap and we just continued again up top. We continued up top. We made this 5 minute gap right here. So obviously we want to continue respecting, after respecting barely with this gap, we want to continue north is what the market's telling us here after respecting that, right? So we come down to our 2 minute time frame where you can see it in the leg, and the only thing we have here was this one inversion, right? So you take this inversion, that's a good idea, right? But for me, the reason I would not have taken this trade, or I found this to be a bad trade, is just the fact that if you switch over to ES here, as you can see on NQ, we already swept this high. ES did not sweep this high. We had, so in other words, we had SMT on the ES side of things, which would have personally caused me to see that the market really just doesn't want to move that much higher. And then plus zooming out on a higher time frame, just kind of going to, like, say the 15-minute time frame. I just don't see a ton. Obviously, there is draws like way up here all the way back from February 26th. But for me, I'm not looking for draws from that long ago, right? Especially being such a low time frame trader. I'm not looking for draws from, say, 2 weeks ago. I'm really just looking for draws and swings to catch my continuation, or honestly my entry, right? So would this have been a good, like, trade had there been more liquidity, more draw, and that SMT not there? Yes, I would say this would be an excellent trade. This would be like a B plus trade from my continuation model. However, I don't feel like personally this gave me enough conviction to enter off of this looking for more liquidity, because like I said, coming into the day, I didn't have anything else marked out other than these, kind of obvious 3 points. I wanted to see either A, we went down and then just continuation on a pump down. I wanted to see us come up and hit this key level, possibly this one, and then an obvious draw down. And obviously, as I said, my conviction was right. Like, we wanted to short the market. That's what I had said coming into the day. But I personally took a long, which going against trend. Yes, I know, not really following my rules. That's why I said it's a B minus. This is a B minus setup for me, and whatnot. Right? Obviously, I wasn't 100% tapped in. Just got home from Miami, so that video should be coming up soon. A little shout out to that video. But like, I'm not 100% back in the game. Right? Obviously, like, you can see my room's pretty nasty right now. Just got home. But like, woke up today, got on the charts a little late. Like, I wasn't really honestly expecting to take a trade today. I saw this trade. I felt like personally this was just the conviction I had from this, and again, just the displacement of this candle right here just kind of led me to really, really, really want to take this trade. This, I didn't think at the time, I thought this was more than A plus trade, but looking at this now, it's really not that good of a trade, especially having such a small inversion here that we took. But yeah, so that's my trade for the day. Again, I made around $1,100 on the day. I made, wow, what is that? Luckily, you guys can't see that. I made around, nope, where'd it go? I closed it. I made around $1,100 today. Show the P&L ski. But yeah, that's all I have for today. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next trade recap.